Let me tell you a story that doesn't start with $1 million investment. It doesn't involve Silicon Valley, angel investors, or crypto. It starts with a guy, a Craigslist ad, and a vending machine that didn't even turn on. This is the story of how Marcus, a regular guy with no background in business, turned a dead vending machine into a six-figure payday. And if you're thinking this sounds like a get-rich-quick scam, stick around, because this is exactly the kind of under-the-radar hustle most people overlook. Marcus was 28, working a mid-level job in IT support. Nothing glamorous. He was good at what he did, but between student loans, rent, and trying to save for anything beyond gas and groceries, it was tight. He wasn't looking to quit his job, but he was looking for a way to earn more, without selling his soul or blowing thousands on some online course promising overnight riches. One night, he was scrolling Craigslist, not for business ideas, just boredom. He landed on a listing that caught his eye. It read, "Old vending machine, doesn't work, $50, must pick up." There was one photo. The machine looked sad, rusted on the corners, missing some buttons. But the description mentioned it had been in storage since the pandemic, and the coin slot still probably works. Most people would scroll past. But Marcus, he saw something else. He didn't know why he messaged the seller. He just did. The next morning, he drove 45 minutes to a dusty old bowling alley that had long since gone out of business. In the back, under an old tarp, sat the vending machine. Heavy, ugly, but somehow full of potential. He handed over $50 and, with the help of a dolly and some curse words, loaded it into the back of his SUV. At this point, Marcus didn't have a plan, but he had an idea. What if he could get it working, just enough to function? Not perfect, just usable. He started Googling how to fix a vending machine. YouTube was his best friend. He spent a full Saturday watching tutorials from guys named things like Vending Vet 23 and Snack Hack Dave. He learned about bill validators, coin mechs, control boards. Turns out, the machine just needed a new power supply and a cleaned-up coin mechanism. He ordered a few replacement parts online for around $60 total, borrowed a soldering iron from his neighbor, and spent the next weekend elbow-deep in wires and soda cans. 2 weeks later, the machine came to life. Literally. Lights on. Buttons responsive. It worked. He didn't have a place to put it yet. But now that he had a functional vending machine, he started thinking, where could this go? He visited local barbershops, laundromats, auto shops, anywhere that might have a few bored customers and no snacks in sight. Most said no. But one auto repair shop owner, Tony, said maybe. He didn't want to buy a machine, but if Marcus would supply and service it, he'd let him place it in the break room. They agreed on a simple deal. Marcus keeps 100% of the profits in exchange for stocking and maintaining the machine. No rent, no hassle. Marcus drove to Costco, loaded up on chips, sodas, gum, candy bars, anything under $1 with a decent markup. He installed the machine, filled it up, and walked away. That first week, he made $38. Second week, $56. Third week, $71. It wasn't life-changing, but the machine was earning while he slept, worked, watched TV, and ate dinner. It was quiet money, passive. By the end of month 1, it had earned $240. That's $2,880 annually from one machine. And it was enough to spark an idea. What if I had 5 machines? 10? 20? Over the next few months, Marcus began hunting for broken machines like a shark in the classifieds. Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, even storage unit auctions. He looked specifically for machines that were structurally intact, dirt cheap. In need of small repairs, he became skilled at spotting deals. He once picked up 2 snack machines for $100 total, just because the seller wanted them gone that weekend. Marcus now had 3 machines. He got a second placement at a plumbing warehouse and a third at a community college faculty lounge. All of them ran on similar deals. Free placement, he stocks and services, he keeps the cash. Each machine started pulling in between $250 to $450 per month, depending on the foot traffic. One of his best hacks? He added a Venmo QR code to the front of the machines. If someone didn't have change, they could Venmo $1.25 and text what item they wanted. He'd drop it off the next time he serviced the machine. Was it scalable? Not really. But it boosted trust and added an unexpected revenue stream. By the end of year one, Marcus had 9 vending machines in operation. Most were snack and soda combos, but one was a coffee machine in a downtown office with 24/7 staff. He spent about 10 hours a week restocking and servicing them. Saturdays were his main route day. He had it down to a science. Trunk full of supplies, cooler for drinks, checklist on his phone. And the profits? He was making between $3,500 and $4,200 per month in cash. After subtracting product costs, gas, and minor maintenance, he was clearing $2,000 to $2,500 a month in pure profit. That's $30,000 per year. And remember, this all started with a $50 broken machine. But here's where it gets really interesting. In month 18, Marcus got an email from another local vending operator. The guy had seen one of Marcus's machines at a repair shop and was impressed. He asked, "Would you ever consider selling your route?" Marcus hadn't planned on selling, but he was also thinking about launching a new online brand, and the cash could fund it. They met, talked, ran numbers, and agreed on a deal. $100,000 for the full route, all 9 machines, inventory, locations, maintenance logs, everything. Marcus took the offer. He used the cash to start a small e-commerce brand selling men's grooming products, something he'd been dreaming about for 2 years. The vending machines? Still out there, still operating. Only now, someone else is stocking them. What's wild is Marcus didn't invent anything. He didn't raise funding. He didn't go viral. He just saw value where others saw junk. He learned from free YouTube videos. He reinvested instead of splurging. And he built something others were willing to buy. Here's what we can learn from Marcus. 1. There's always demand for convenience. Even in a world with DoorDash and Uber Eats, people still buy snacks from a machine 5 feet away. 2. Most people overlook simple hustles. Everyone's chasing apps and NFTs. Meanwhile, a vending machine quietly pumps out cash with 0 followers. 3. The skill isn't the vending, it's the systems. Marcus kept spreadsheets, tracked sales, managed inventory, and focused on profit margins. That's what made it worth $100K for. You don't need to start big. $50. That's what started it all. The barrier to entry was low. What mattered was effort and consistency. 5. Exit plans matter. Marcus didn't just run the business, he made it attractive to buy. That's why someone paid him 6 figures. Now maybe vending isn't your thing. That's okay. But what is? What's that $50 opportunity in your world right now that looks like junk to everyone else? Maybe it's flipping items, starting a faceless YouTube channel, cleaning headlights, power washing driveways. It's not about vending machines. It's about resourcefulness. Marcus didn't wait for permission. He didn't need a course. He just acted. And yeah, $100K might not be retire forever money, but it's a down payment on a home. It's seed capital for a new business. It's freedom. And it started with something most people would have left on the curb. So the next time you see an old vending machine or a busted up opportunity that everyone ignores, ask yourself, what would Marcus do? Maybe it's time to stop scrolling and start building.